Music is in all of us in the form of a heartbeat. We carry that beat wherever we go, and it drives us forward. It's a steady presence, a beat within, from the beginning to the end of our lives. Like creativity, we have to take care of it in order to thrive. Our mortality, our creativity, and our imaginations transcend some of the limitations we impose on ourselves and each other, opening up new ways of seeing, being, and interacting. The transmission of our work as artists has undergone some necessary change with the onset of the pandemic. At the same time, it has opened our minds, hearts, and technical know-how to collaborating in ever-evolving ways. Innovation is so often one of the seeds of creation. Finding a way through pain is a powerful motivator to see things differently, to shift a narrative, and create new metaphors that can help shape a future we want to inhabit. Over the years, we have collected and shared the fantastic stories and mythologies of the greats who came before us. Beethoven adapting his way of working so he could continue composing while deaf. Nina Simone reconciling both mental health struggles and systemic oppression and finding a way to belt out the unspeakable. These greats have given us a wealth of expression that grew from adversity. In more recent times, marginalized voices that have been historically suppressed and undervalued are being heard and their stories excavated. There are lost histories, lost creatives of the past who never got the chance to use their voice. We live in an era that is fighting for inclusion, and it's blowing the roof off the cozy cabins of the past. Inclusivity is the result of a lot of things, but for sure, the wizardry and onslaught of everything internet is a major player. Access to information, sharing of knowledge, and the almost immediate person-to-person broadcast of the on-street happenings means it's a lot harder to control the narrative. We're co-creators of an evolving story of democratization, changing of the guard, and the paradoxical nature of including so many voices.
In the words of the great Billy Joel, music in itself is healing. It's an explosive expression of humanity. It's something we are all touched by. No matter what culture we are from, everyone loves music. Music and artistic expression in all its forms is an integral part of our lives as artists and plays a paramount role by facilitating communication in society, healing differences, and elevating even the most mundane of activities. As artists, we dream. We practice to hone a particular skill. We listen, we create from our heart. We strive to have our voices expressed through our art. And ultimately, resonate and reflect the emotions and thoughts of humanity. Our songs become the soundtracks of daily life, the anthem of social movements, and ultimately the collective voice, memories, and stories of generations. As artists, we have learned to overcome hardship through countless hours of practice, the toil of repetition and constant challenge to perfect our ability to be heard. From learning to play an instrument, collaborating with peers, to finding outlets and platforms to promote our art and reach audiences.
Countless people have tried to define what it means to be an artist. And above all, what prevails is our innate need to communicate. Our success as artists depends on our ability to communicate effectively in an ever-changing cultural landscape and industry. We have learned to adapt across history to times overcoming censorship, being marginalized, surviving financial recessions, the effect of disruptive technologies, and countless other challenges.
Time after time, artists prevail. As we reflect on the current times in the midst of the recent pandemic, we have been some of the first to be affected with the closure of venues and the immediate disappearance of several key sources of income. We will most likely be the last to see the recovery of our industry. But once again, we have kept entertaining online, teaching others to pick up an instrument, helping each other through remote collaborations, and ultimately reinventing the ways that we fulfill our mission as communicators. While we may not see a total return to a so-called normality, we will find ways to leverage current advancement in intellectual property, monetization, reclaim performance venues and opportunities in alternative ways, thrive as entrepreneurs, expanding our toolkits to continue spreading our voices.
Paraphrasing legendary rock group Queen, empty spaces, what are we living for? Abandoned places, I guess we know the score. Behind the curtain, in the pantomime, hold the line. The show must go on. The show must go on.